Good morning. Welcome to my channel. Today is the 29th of December 2021 and we are trying to finish our mouse. I call it a Christmas mouse in a forest. So we can start on the first project of 2022. This is our plan, and I think we should have no problem in achieving our plan. Not that we are on any strict schedule, but I do like to keep things in order, and I am looking forward to making the big winter canvas with the snow and the reindeers. Actually, we have to kit it up yet, you know. Bring you down closer a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. We're on the symbol N. This is the last section right here. And then we are finished. And then the next step will be to kit up our first project for 2022. This year seems like went by so fast. Not that we're going to miss some of the issues in this year. We have one drill that wanted to hang on sideways and the other ones didn't want to come on at all. What a mess. Okay. So, do you do the usual end of the year inventory, how your year went, etc.? Actually, I don't. Because it went the way it went, it's gone. Which means it's never coming back again, so forget it. Just remember some of the good things. If we look hard enough, we can find something good that happened. "2022 holds a lot of new promises." Remember, the number 2 supposedly is a lucky number. Although things happen the way they were written, they are supposed to happen to a certain extent. We do have free will to a certain extent. So I have been told. I studied that. Nothing to complain about today. Going to try and relax. Monday, everything gets back to normal. On the 3rd, people go back to school, go back to work, etc., etc. You know, we spend so much time, effort, and wear and tear on our nerves getting ready for this holiday season, and then poof, it's over, right? So this year, actually, I did not go into hysterics. I just did the best I could. Well, I did have a setback with that inflamed tooth, 2 of them, as a matter of fact. And then the jabs and what have you. So things happened. Life happens. We can't always keep to the schedule that we wanted. I think being over this holiday season, things will get into a more routine until Easter. Last year I tried to make a bunny, but it turned out to be a puppy. Don't ask me how, I don't know. It looks like a puppy and not a bunny. So I'm going to give it another try. I have noticed that I learned a lot. With the more amigurumi that I make, the less uptight I am about the final result, which is a good thing because this is what was keeping me back from doing it in the first place. Because I wanted to be perfect, just like what I saw, on the pattern, and it never turned out that way. And then I was like, well, this is not going to work. Yes, it is. Just keep on doing it. I always tell you, if I can do it, anyone can do it. And that is a fact. I was chatting with one of my regular viewers, and I am not the only one that has a stash stacking up underneath my light board. Because every time I get a new canvas, I want to start doing it right away. Well, of course, I told you this Christmas mouse went to the side because we were doing other projects. And we made snowflakes. We crocheted snowflakes. We made amigurumi snowballs. We made a snowman. We made snowflakes from leftover blingies, those crystal diamonds that we had left over from other projects. I do have a project on my wish list, in my rear view mirror. It is a clock. It's an actual working clock. It is diamond painting. And it's a wall clock, and it actually works. Of course. Why else would we make it? The main color, which is my favorite colors, is blue and crystal. So I suppose we could call it a frozen clock. And these corners are hard because I keep on walking out of the camera when I'm doing it. But I think for a change, you can see me actually. I thought you might feel abandoned if you can't see what I'm doing. So I would say this was an easy canvas to do. No particular problems. It's around drills. To me, actually, it doesn't matter whether it is round or square. However, it's my opinion that a square one does look a bit more, how should I say, more professional? But it really doesn't matter anymore. No matter how close you try to put the round ones, there is still a little bit of gap. As far as gapping goes, in the square ones, I would rather have a tiny, tiny gap than have it so tight that it pops off the canvas. And I didn't know, but that is why the drills were popping because the drills were too close together. Yes, I do watch other YouTubers' channels. I learn a lot, take good constructive advice. I don't think I know it all yet. I'm far from it. First of all, I have no idea what these colors are called. Yes, I know there is this book with the DMC code in it and the name of the colors, but I figured it's rather useless. I can make up my own name for the colors. I can't remember if I read it anyway, so what's the point of it? There's no point, right? So it's a whatchamacallit color, whatever, it's beautiful. And that's the main, this is why we do it. Besides, it's good for our mental health. I've been told. I haven't noticed any improvement in it, but I'm sure it is. I'm sure somebody must have made a survey or what have you as to the effect of diamond painting on our mental well-being. Can you imagine having a title to a paper that said that? And people are actually supposed to take it seriously? I mean, there are other art therapy forms such as music and painting and what have you. And as far as keeping our cognitive abilities in older years, the idea is to use your brain. And sometimes we do have to use our brain to figure out how to solve little problems that we come across in diamond painting. And there is such a thing as color therapy. Now, if you're working with these drills, you are definitely having color therapy, aren't you? Because the colors are absolutely beautiful. Sometimes I wonder why I have to put certain colors where it's supposed to go. And I'm like, are you sure I'm supposed to put that there? And then I have to step back because right now I'm too close to the diamond painting to see the end result. So actually we need to step back and look at the complete picture, and then it makes sense as to why we needed to put that color where they told us to put that color. So I suppose it's very simple, just follow the instructions, which of course I'm not exactly inclined to do that a majority of the time. Tell me to do something and it's for damn sure that I'm going to do the opposite. Yes, I tend to be. No, you don't belong there. Why do you go there? You know, sometimes I tend to be a spoiled brat. Aren't we all? It's okay. I had a question like, I wanted to change certain drills to a different kind, let's say a glittery one. Am I going to get in trouble for that? And I'm like, excuse me? Who is going to judge your choice of drills on your own diamond painting? This is something you bought. This is your property. If you want to put all purple drills on it, it's your choice, as long as you enjoy it. Like, really, who are you going to get in trouble with? I didn't understand that question as to why someone would be concerned when we can. I think all of us want to perk up our diamond painting, and we love glitter and shine. This is why we're doing it. Let's say over here on the snowy part of the tree, we could put clear ones, like it would be an icy tree. But we were working with the leftover crystal ones for the snowflakes. And they turned out good. So we checked out this glue for gluing the diamond painting. Also, I checked out the clear Mod Podge. I was worried that it's going to dry white. Nope, it dried clear. And it's nice and shiny, so there was no problem with it. So we did a little experimenting. I still have a problem for that particular project to stand up without bubbling over, unless I hooked up the swing the wrong way. So I'm going to play around with it a bit more. I didn't want to bore you on the camera doing it. Definitely I am not going to leave it alone until I get it to work the right way. I mean, you know me by now. Tend to be a bit stubborn. Okay. There's a lot of color blocking here, so this is why I'm saying that we should make good progress on this, and then we can kit up our project for 2022. Now, don't expect me to remember the date. I am not known for remembering dates. Anything but. Even though I have it standing here on my desk. I finally got a desk calendar because I could never remember the date. I guess my brain must think it's not a useful information, so just deletes it. Lately, my brain seems to have acquired a new app called deleting information. It does happen when you're tired. Usually only then. I think most of us have so many projects going at the same time that we sort of get lost in the world of crafts. So the next thing I have to learn is to make a bunny rabbit that looks like a bunny rabbit and not a puppy. So I should do that before Easter. And this time I want to get my hands on those clear eggs, you know, those acrylic or plastic or whatever they're called. And then crochet around with silver and gold. I think that would look very nice on a spring tree. It's nice in the dead of winter to be looking forward to spring. I would say spring is my most favorite color of the seasons. Everything is so fresh and green and comes to life after the gray of winter. Right now it's raining outside. Should be snowing. Nope, it's raining. Is it okay? Again, we're not going to have snow. We did have snow for one day. was pretty, but that's it. I think last year we didn't even have one day. I know my boots never got out of the closet. And the next one would be the number 7 up there in the middle. So let's move this a little bit right there. Notice I have not dropped you people lately. This new tripod seems to be stable. And the camera is not dropping. That one's upside down. Coming along for the ride, I think. So definitely in this canvas, we're getting the main source of light between the trees. Probably the moon or something like that. I still say would definitely be a night time. But then in the forest, it gets much, much darker than this at night. So I would stick with late afternoon. I was watching some camping videos where this guy went camping in a tent. Well, hang on to your seats. He actually had a wood-burning little stove that you can fold together, put in your backpack. He had that going in a tent. I was like, really? Am I behind the times, folks? Yep. It was fantastic, and it really heated up in the middle of a snowstorm. I go, what a good idea. Even if you want to go hiking, let's say, and you want to cook a fast meal out in the open, and it had a chimney, the wood-burning stove had a chimney. It was like, how could I say, like a long piece of foil, and then it was secured with rings, and then the top of it had a regular chimney hole, and in the tent there was a hole to stick the chimney out from the wood-burning stove. And I was like, well, I'll be. The things I don't learn, seriously. And it just shows how simply you can make your survival training comfortable. Because survival training doesn't mean you need to be as uncomfortable as possible. No, it means to make your stay in a unfriendly environment as comfortable as possible. And keeping dry and warm in a snowstorm would actually save your life. I mean, wet clothes freeze. He did have something on, what, down-filled slacks? I never heard of that. I heard of, with wool, how do you say it? Lining, fleece lining, the fluffy, soft. But I never heard of down-filled. But I suppose those people that live in minus 40 centigrade and stuff like that would know what kind of warm clothes exist. Otherwise, some people actually love the weather. He was complaining that he couldn't film any animals. Don't most of the mammals hibernate in the winter? Or is this something totally ignorant that I just said? I know once in a while you can see a deer or a rabbit running across the fields over here, but I just read on one of the channels that they found wolves in one of the forests here in Hungary. I was surprised. I know there's a problem with them in Russia and the tundra, but I wasn't aware. Although lately they have sighted bears also coming rather close to the villages. I presume they're looking for food. And once they figure out where the food is, you know, then you're going to find dumped garbage cans and etc. I would think the main thing is, since some of the experts say that they are more scared of you than you are of them, then just sort of stay out of their way. You know, don't confront them. If you're going to make noise or something, trying to chase them away, and make sure that you are in a safe place. So they cannot attack you. I would presume if somebody was banging pots and pans in my face, I would get a little bit upset also. And they are bigger than we are, so keep out of their way. The problem is once they get used to humans feeding them, then they sort of expect that. I know that the forest rangers and etc. do feed the deer and the other wildlife regularly, but they have special feeding stations, and they are not in nearby villages or what have you, because you don't want them to get used to coming into occupied by people, occupied places. You want them to get used to one feeding station where it's safe for them and safe for the people. And then they have regular organized hunting season where they are told for which animals you are allowed to hunt for and which you are not, to make sure that there's no overpopulation of a certain kind of wildlife to the detriment of another kind. So that's up to the forest ranger's job to keep things under control. And of course there are wildlife that you are not allowed to hunt. And usually that's the one that is, you know, the most expensive. And we have foreign visitors coming here trying to hunt for animals that are under the protection of the wildlife preserves. Now they are under protection for a reason. And this is why there's quite a lot of work for the forest rangers to make sure everybody has their permits Everybody knows the rules, and they don't do damage to the wildlife. This is why they are selected which type of animals you're allowed to hunt. The ones that there's too many of, as far as population control is concerned, then they have to take special measures to make sure that the wildlife is healthy, because unfortunately a sick specimen can have detrimental effects on the rest of the population in there. It's quite a complicated job, I would think, because first you have to find those. Well, usually if an animal is sick, then they are too friendly and they are slow. So you can tell there's something wrong with them. And then they have to determine whether it can be saved with proper medication, or is it best to not to let it suffer more, let it go to sleep. So I think it's quite many components to doing that kind of job, come to think of it, and they are rather underpaid. So I thank you very much for spending time with me today. We have a few more days in 2021, and we are on our way to starting a brand new, huge project for 2022. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. Please hit the like and the subscribe button. I will see you next time. Bye for now.